we're back with another Unreal Engine tutorial, part 4 of our merchant series. Let's go down to our user interface. Let's open up our shop weapons menu, something I forgot to do in the last episode. Let's click on not enough funds border, scroll down to visibility and put that binding on. So we want not enough funds viz right here, and do the same for weapon already equipped. Click on that, select weapon already equipped, and we will compile and save that. Let's go back to the test map, and I want to open up menu_pause and go over to the graph. This is the script that we're going to need in just a moment. And the other menu I want to load up is not a menu at all, but if we go over to blueprints and into core, it's how we get into our first initial menus. So let's open up PC_hero. So this is the script used to get into our pause menu and into our game menu. What we need to do to test the script out, because we're not going to give it to an NPC immediately, we need to grab the script here and set it up to open up our weapons menu from a key on the keyboard. Just the same as we have over in our B_hero, where we can set up commands for test script. Over here, you can see that I've neatly arranged them all so I know what all my troubleshooting commands are. I can see here that I'm not using the L key. So that means that I can use the L key over here in PC Hero. And I want to put it in PC Hero so I can reference that script directly with the other menu script. So I'm going to right click, type in L key, and then I'm going to scroll until I find the L key. There we go. And now I'm going to copy over everything except for the game menu input action and paste it down here. And then I'm going to plug the pressed button into the first piece of this script. And then all I need to do is click this drop down and select shop_weapons. And just like that, when I press the L key, the shop_weapons menu will appear on screen as if we were getting it from an NPC. That's great for getting into the menu. Getting out of the menu is going to be a pain if we don't have a back button. So let's go back up to shop_weapons over to our canvas panel with weapons main selected. Let's click the drop down there on background blur, on vertical box. Let's click the drop down on the horizontal box there and grab ourselves one of the buttons, the button_assault rifle. Let's copy that button and paste it on this vertical box here. So not the horizontal box that has our assault rifle and our ammunition in it, but the vertical box above that that has our title in it. Pasting that button there. Button's going to end up in the middle of the screen. Let's click the drop down on that horizontal box. So it's just this button. We don't need the second rich text block. We just need the first. In fact, we don't need that vertical box. So I'm going to cut that rich text block, get rid of the vertical box and paste it back on there. So with that button, I'm going to set its vertical alignment to the vertically aligned bottom with fill on the horizontal alignment. So the back button takes up that entire bottom row. So it's very easy to see where we can get out of this menu. I still want fill on size as well. Clicking on the rich text block, I'm going to change that to back, just like that. Now with that button, let's also rename it button_back. Over to the graph. Let's click on button_back if it's not automatically highlighted. Here it is for me. So let's click on clicked, which will put that button down here. We don't need it all the way down there just yet. I'm going to put it up here because we've got a few more buttons to fill in. Let's go back up to that pause menu. And to continue from our pause menu, we use this script. So this is why I brought this up. Select everything here except the button_continue and copy that. We'll go back over to our shop_weapons and paste that here. So show mouse cursor false, self-explanatory, set game polished false, self-explanatory, set input mode game only. We're not looking for UI inputs, and remove from parent is to get rid of the current widget. So that's what happens when our back button's selected. Then let's come down to event tick and put that back button on the 0 mark of this array. We have an extra 2 pins which are going to come up as errors because we haven't got anything for that yet. So let's right click and remove array element pin just for now, just so we can see if there's any other errors that we need to get on top of first. So that means that the back button will be highlighted when we're hovering over it or when the gamepad has focus on it. So now we can get into the menu, we can get out of the menu. One more thing we need to do, over to b_hero. We don't have any currency at the moment, so let's set up a script to give us some currency. Because I'm in b_hero, I can see whether I'm using the M key, M for money. That's how I'm going to remember it. So I'm going to right click, type in M key, find the M key. There it is. And then I'm going to hold Control to drag out currency, hold Alt and drag out currency for a setter and a getter. I'm going to drag out of the currency getter, get a plus sign, integer plus integer. Then I'm going to type in 1000, plug in pressed into the setter, plug in the plus into the currency integer input, like so. You've definitely seen that before if you've done any of these other tutorials. And then just so we can see when our currency is being added, let's grab a print string. Let's drag out of that string and type in append. Because if we just see a random number appear on screen, that's not going to do us any good. But if we put a $sign in front of it, that should help. Again, assuming that your game's going to be gigantic. And if you have 100 lines of troubleshooting script, it's going to be really hard to keep on top of them all if all of them are just random numbers. So let's compile and save that. And with those tweaks in place, we should be ready to go. So we have 4 options to check here. If we go over to shop_weapons, 4 scenarios that we need to investigate. So the first, if we don't have enough funds, we need to check that that menu is working. The second is going to be if the weapon's already equipped. The third, if we need to replace a weapon. And the fourth will be purchase successful. Go over to the test map, save all, hit play. I'm going to hit the L key and I'm going to select the assault rifle. I haven't pressed the M key to get any funds, so it should come back with not enough funds. And it came back with not enough funds. The focus doesn't seem to be working. We'll come back to that. But if I hit the continue button, we're all good there. So now I'm going to go back. Next up, let's get some funds. Let's press the M key 5 times. There we go. I've got $5,000. So now I'm going to press L again. I'm going to select assault rifle. And now we should be getting the weapon already equipped prompt. And there it is, weapon already equipped. Hit continue there, hit back. So let's go and change that. I'm going to get a shotgun or any weapon that isn't the assault rifle. And now I'm going to press L and I'm going to press assault rifle and it's going to ask which weapon slot I want to replace. So we need to fill in these names still. That's fine. If we have time, we'll do it in this episode. But let's say I want to use weapon slot 1. Then there's purchase successful working just fine. So let's continue on that. And now if I press back, my weapon is the assault rifle. So I've just purchased the assault rifle. And if I press M, then it says $1,000 again. So it's taken away my currency. So our script is working so far. So let's see how much we can get done of fixing up our little errors here and there before we run out of time. Let's go up to the event tick and add our pins back. As many pins as we have buttons. I'm going to try and keep this arranged. I'm going to start by leaving enough space for the next few weapons and their ammunition. So that means I'll drag out the event tick just for now because this array is going to be quite big. So I need assault rifle and its ammunition, pistol and its ammunition, shotgun and its ammunition, another 2 for sniper and its ammunition, and another 2 for rocket launcher and its ammunition. Then we will add the other buttons. We'll probably need about 5, I'm guessing. So we will need not enough funds, which will be 11. Weapon already equipped. Purchase successful will be 13. And then replace weapon slot 1 will be 14. And replace weapon slot 2 will be 15. Select all of them, press Q. These will come up as errors, but we'll ignore that for now. We know the script's working. We just need to see that it's focused. Next up, let's go over to our replace weapon script. Conveniently, we have extra room because we're going to need it. Let's get our hero reference. Get weapon slot 1. Then out of that, we're going to get class defaults. The only thing we need is the weapon name. Now let's go back to the designer and find our replace weapon border. We're going to hide the weapon's main border before we put that on screen and select the weapon to replace rich text block. Rename this using F2 RTB underscore weapon slot 1. And then for the second button, RTB underscore weapon slot 2. Come to the graph, we should be able to see those two rich text blocks there. So let's drag in weapon slot 1, set text. Let's plug weapon name into set text. Click on get class defaults. Click hide unconnected pins. Then all we need to do is the same thing, but for weapon slot 2. So let's grab a reference hero, grab class defaults and grab set text, paste them over here. Out of reference hero, let's get weapon slot 2. Plug weapon slot 2 into class get defaults, drag out RTB underscore weapon slot 2 onto the set text, hide our unconnected pins. And then now I'm going to plug them into the replace weapon script here, the end here, plug that in there and that in there, which means that every time we put up that menu, we should be getting the weapon names. Let's compile it and save and test that out. We'll hit play. We'll start with our not enough funds, hit L, click on the assault rifle, not enough funds, the button comes into focus, hit continue, hit back, press M 5 times, press L, click on the assault rifle, weapon already equipped, hit continue, it came into focus. Now let's go and switch our weapon over, pick up the shotgun, press L, click on assault rifle, and our weapons for weapon slot 1 and weapon slot 2 have been correctly identified. And the focus has been put on the right button there. So we'll select weapon slot 1, purchase successful, and hit back. And there's our assault rifle. And there are the errors because the event tick is continuously checking for the empty slots over here. So that error shouldn't be a problem. But in the next episode, we are going to fill these slots out. We're going to adjust this script so that we can purchase every weapon using the same script, just changing some variables. One more thing we need to do before we go is if we aren't currently in possession of that weapon slot, if the weapon we want to change is in the second slot or the slot we don't have, then this false pin fires off, but the purchase still needs to be successful. To fix this up, all we need to do is drag out of this purchase successful, plug it into false. Let's double click on that executable though, so we can get some reroutables. So these two will come up here like that. It doesn't matter if the weapon slot that we're adjusting isn't currently the weapon slot we're using, just means that we're not going to change the equipped weapon. And we can go and quickly test that out. We're going to need a different weapon, at least 5,000 in cash. We'll press L, select assault rifle, select weapon slot 2. The purchase was successful. Go back. We still have the shotgun in slot 1. And if I press my weapon switch button, which is Q, it becomes the assault rifle. So that's working. Again, don't worry about the errors. And then in the next episode, we will finish this out. We will fix those errors. And then we should be done with the script. So I will see you guys then.